Hello and welcome to Freedom March. I'm Levin Miller. Thank you for joining us. We're on 103.5, the Beat FM. We're on channel 224, channel 112, that's cable. And that's our Flow TV. We're also on ILTV Studios. That's over on Facebook. You see, I'm dressed again today as an FNA because I want to send a special message to Dr. Hubert Minnis. Hubert Minnis, you could just come join me. You don't have to put up with Michael and his foolishness. I'll tell you something. There's no way a not winner should ever get to tell somebody that could win that they can't run. When he went to Centerville, he was a not winner. When he been to Cat Island, he was a not winner. And there's no way, I believe, that a big time winner like you should take any kind of flack or shellac from a not winner. And that's all I want to say. And so I brought my pom-poms. See, we have pom-poms over here in the FNA, Dr. Minnis. We have T-shape, we have pom-poms, and the only thing we're waiting on is you and Lincoln Bain, who was obviously not to wait today and could be inside the House of Assembly. And you saw Hiram Lewis today on top of the Speaker's chair. And I'm telling you, Dr. Minnis, that if they don't want us to be a part of their team, then tell them to carry their FNM, because we have our own FNA. And after seeing all of that, what am I going to call it? Shenanigans in the House of Assembly today, I thought about it. I said, now we need a team song, right? And I can't wait on no team song quick like that, right? So I said, well, hey, what was Minnis's most crowning accomplishment? He's the first prime minister in history, Bahamas, that has been able to engage the powers of the competent authority and lock down the whole Bahamas. And so we are locking it down. Y'all FNMs, y'all think y'all gonna win and hold on to the parliament? We locking y'all down, baby. Please play.
This is powerful.
We on lockdown, just like before, Every other weekend, lockdown some more, Freedom March, Rodney Monker, about to do his thing and address the country concerns. Lockdown, baby,
This is powerful.
lockdown, baby, with Rodney Monker. Lockdown, baby.
This is powerful.
Lockdown, baby.
Northern Soul is running you word. In the mainland, there's been a resurge. We have to lock the country down. Who's on the button? But not now.
And so, Michael Pintard, you could carry your FNM. Because me and Dr. Minnis and Lincoln Bain and Hiram Lewis and Kwesi Thompson and half our Adrian, we going to start the FNA. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us through the break. Leaving Miller is here. It's Freedom March. We're on 103.5 FM, The Beat. The spiritual advisor joins me in studio. He's here with some Holy Scripture. Spiritual advisor, I wish you had Holy Scripture to talk about spying on man. Because I tell you, I told you yesterday, Michael Pintard is spying on man. Now I hear you talking about the early election. I never hear about that nowhere else except for Freedom March. But we'll get to that, see, because I need you to bid me off in Holy Scripture so I could try to stay in the straight and narrow before I have to case with Michael Pintard.
Thank you so much, man. Good to be here.
Yeah.
We're going to go to the book of Luke today. I just love Luke.
Luke.
The
I like Luke.
physician.
The great physician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luke, in the book of Luke, I think we're at chapter 14, of 7 to 14. Jesus Christ is given a very interesting parable.
Okay.
And he talks about if somebody invites you to a wedding feast and exactly what you should do in the event you may have some more important guests than yourselves invited.
Okay.
And he says, it says, when Jesus noticed how guests picked the places of honor at the table, he told them this parable. When someone invites you to a wedding feast, do not take the place of honor. Let me just read it from here. When someone invites you to a wedding feast, do not take the place of honor, for a person more distinguished than you may have been invited. If so, the host who invited both of you will come and say to you, give this person your seat. And then humiliated, you will have to take the least important place. But when you're invited, take the lowest place so that when your host comes, he will say to you, friend, move up to a better place. Then you will be honored in the presence of all the other guests. For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted.
Wow.
But when you are invited, and then Jesus said to the host, when you give a luncheon or dinner, do not invite your friends or your brothers or sisters or relatives or your rich neighbors. If you do, they may invite you back, and so you'll be repaid. But when you give a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, and you'll be blessed. Although they cannot repay you, you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous. Very interesting.
Wow.
Luke 14, 7 to 14. The word of God is forever and ever blessed.
It's very advisor. The Baptists must never read the scripture, because the Baptists have a song that says, I want my friends to pray for me. And how many friends can pray if they enter the party?
Well, that's deep.
That's very deep.
Interesting, but a very nice passage indeed.
Yeah.
Reflect on.
Well, the Holy Scripture.
Amen.
It's always blessed. So I don't know if you've been watching the new Spiritual Advisor, but they got one bunch of foolishness going on in this House of Assembly. Today, Hiram Lewis was selected to preside over a seating of the House. I understand from sources seated very well that this is allowed, that the House is made up of 39 members or 38 members, whatever the count is, and that on any given occasion, the House can select a member to preside over a particular event. And so today, show me the video of Hiram. He looked like when you let children loose in the candy shop. Him and Lincoln obviously didn't have no wig today. There you see Hiram Lewis. The deputy speaker, who say he liked nepotism and never had no problem with nepotism in his whole life. He steps down. Hiram Lewis takes the chair. Lincoln Bain actually uses this as his one moment to rally. And I don't blame him, because we're rallying. You say I brought my pom-poms. I've come to rally the troops today. Hiram Lewis had oversight of the proceedings in the House of Assembly, and he actually almost looks like a speaker, He got a bald plate. He have a little goatee. It white at the bottom. He necktie. It looked like a half Windsor. He don't really look like he know how to tie a decent one. I don't see no dimple in it. But for whatever it's worth, the governing side took a good little bit of laughs. Of course, they also in jest said, your leader is in the gallery, your leader is in the gallery. And that then brought some other things to my mind, producer, that Lincoln been lying to these people all this time.
How so?
Lincoln being tell the people he had a problem with party politics. And that the only way to fix the parliament was that if a bunch of independents went into the parliament. Because that is how you were able to disrupt the flow of party politics. By having the parliament have elected independents. You remember that? Wasn't that their whole message? Remember when one bunch of them get together and run? Right? Independent here, independent there, independent all over the place. Well, it is my understanding that the reason why Hiram Lewis is a member that is not recognized as an independent member is because the Coalition of Independents is an actual registered party. And if the Coalition of Independents is an actual registered party, then how do you say to me that parties are the problem with the country, and then you go and start a party? That almost sounds to me like what people is do in the church. You know, they say, oh, the church hate me, and the church people awful, and all these church ain't good for nothing except for taking your money. Then I can tell you what they do. They start having a little Bible meeting in the front room. And then when that turn into 12 people, they start having it in Wendy's. Then when that turn into 15 people, 2 old women with no husband, they start giving them little money. Then they just rent one little room for one day out of the week. Then they start saying that ain't church. They just having a little bit of scripture reading. Then somebody's bring one half-dead piano they had a woman, and all of a sudden, they want to sing 2 songs before they read the scripture. And before you know it, the same church will almost kill them. They go on and start one.
Yeah.
And Lincoln do the same thing here. Lincoln say the parties was killing the parliament. And that parliament wasn't designed for party politics. And that's why the Bahamian people was getting bamboozled every election, because the prime minister could get his way because he had the majority of the seats in the parliament. I say that, Lincoln said that. And the next thing I know, Hiram Lewis is a part of the Coalition of Independents. And here is where I am with the rabble-rousing crew, right? I get it. You change your mind, Lincoln, and that's fine. But at some point you have to let these see, because I believe he's playing on the ignorance of people now. I believe that had these people been more read, they would realize that Lincoln lying. How could you tell me that party's breaking up the place, yes? And then you go and start one party.
Yeah, okay.
And then you want me to be part of it. And then you name the party something that grammatically is incorrect. And if you can't get grammar right, you know what you're doing in Parliament, right? You just draft legislation, correct?
Right.
So if you can't get the grammar right in the name of the party, who will write the legislation?
Okay.
This will sound like a big problem to me. Sound huge to me. So you tell me that you are the Coalition of Independents. Well, that in itself is an error. And we must change the name of the party. You
got to convince him to do it.
I convinced him not.
Okay,
Lincoln,
okay.
The grammar in this party name is wrong. And you have to get it grammatically correct. You could either not be the Coalition of Independents, so you could be the not Coalition of Independents, or you could be the Coalition of Independents, but you all can't be the Coalition of Independents, because grammatically that is incorrect. It's just not right. It's just not grammatically sound.
So all those folks who are part of this party.
Because you can't be collectively
they're
independent. That don't make
and then
sense.
you bring them together.
That don't make sense.
As a coalition.
Yeah. And so since you have decided, being independent was just not enough for me, I want my people to be able to sit in the speaker chair. I want my people to be able to sit on the Public Accounts Committee. I want my people to da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You now have an interest. See, this is what politics is about. Politics is about the exchanging of mutual interest until we get to a place of common ground. So you have interest. You want to have the trappings of state. Michael don't want Hubert Minnis. You following me with this?
Okay.
Minnis say, it ain't no way this not winner could talk to a big winner like me who done win almost 20 years consecutive.
Yeah. So he's going to run.
Michael ain't never proved that he could win nothing. Michael go on Centerville, they kill him and beating down there. Michael go on Cat Island, he almost had a stroke from that beating they gave him down there. He turn around and win in the wave after taking the endorsement from the PLP candidate who people saw was a righteous man, Greg Moss, right? And then, somehow, unbeknownst to me, he survived the blast in 21. More than likely, because if you watch the rallies of 21, the only person who was up there lamenting with great contrition in their heart was Michael Bentard. Michael Bentard was the only man on the podium saying, I know we do some things wrong, but that was menace, don't kill me. And the people somehow heard his plea.
Yeah, he won, yeah.
And he was elected. So, I'm not a mathematician, you are, right? If I was a mathematician though, because I failed the maths PGCSE 3 times. In case y'all want to dig up something on me, let me go tell you, going by test and evaluation, Leaving Miller, I failed the maths PGCSE 3 times. All right? There's your one scandal. But if I was to do, what do they call the things? Ratios? What do you call the things? Not ratios. What you call the thing where you put the number to the top and then fraction. If I put 1 over 4 times 100 over 1, what would be my percentage? Spiritual advisor, you tell me you were a banker now.
No, man. 1 over 4.
Times 100 over 1. I can help you.
4%?
25%.
25?
Yeah. And in a way, somebody who only win 25% of the time
You think, okay.
could talk to a fella who win 100% of the time. Because one of them is a winner and the next one is a not winner.
Well, he obviously is looking at it differently. He's probably looking at it from a party perspective rather than individual.
And this is how you know that Michael Pintard is a crazy man. All right? Because let's put up the clip with Michael Pintard, who say he know election to be early. Let's hear what Michael Pintard have to say.
We believe that this is to set up the narrative to convince the Bahamian people that they are extremely busy, and that even though these projects will not be completed by the time of the election, they wish to sell the Bahamian people this dream that, listen, we are in the process of doing many things on your behalf, therefore we deserve another shot. Much of what they're saying, and a lot of what we see them doing, is making a case for election, and we believe that election is likely to be this year, September or earlier. And the direction that the government is presently taking really makes the case that we really need a fixed date for election, so that no man or woman is able to wake up one morning and determine that they're going to call the election on a day of their choosing that's convenient for whatever political games they may be playing.
Turn Michael off because he's lost to me. Michael was so lost that he triggered a poll, put the picture of the poll up, from Eyewitness News to see what people thought about if an election was called today, who would they be voting for? Well, I can't find the next picture, but the poll revealed that 40% of the people said that they would be voting for the PLP, and 24 or 25% said that they would be voting for the FNM. What I find curiously interesting is Michael say the election he believed to be when?
September.
September of when?
Or earlier, this year.
Okay, what month it is?
This is now May.
And you trying to tell me that this not winner believe in his heart that election could be September, and he even ain't nominate himself yet? Just at any point it don't make sense, you tell me.
What do you think he has time?
Spiritual advisor, how much time between May and September?
4 or 5 months, maybe.
But that even ain't long enough to born a baby. You need more time than that to born a baby. You certainly need more time than that to set up a government. So you trying to tell me that a man who in it, he should stop spying on man because he hear that here first. And we said that we believe that elections were going to be early. Michael, next time tell the people who to spy on the show, I say May. That's when the election could be, May 5th. All right? So he talked foolishness on the TV talking about how Brave them cutting ribbons. So technically this is his submission. Boy, Brave them doing one bunch of work, you know. But they only doing this bunch of work because they want y'all to believe that they so busy when it's time for them to sneak the election that I have not nominated a single person, including myself, for. But then he wants to tell big bad Hubert Minnis he can't get no nomination while he look lost as a rudderless ship. And while he played Bo Peep with people like Decent Denley Pen them, who down there giving out fish and roll every Saturday, trying to convince people that they're the best candidate. So what's the purpose of it all? And I say, Lincoln, stop lying to the people. Tell the people, because they will obviously follow you off of a bridge, that yes, the COI is in fact a party. However, we have to make some sense. And having a party with a name that don't make sense, get this, don't make sense. And all parties need one thing, spiritual advisor. You know what that is?
They need leadership.
Seats. All parties need seats. And guess what they have for them have?
Yeah, well.
A bunch of people in seats that don't want to sit there or that being told they can't sit there.
Well, they got one seat, eh?
Who? The Lincoln them not party?
They got one.
Okay. And now Menace says today, we have the clip from Menace? What we have? We have a clip or? Menace say today, only fire from heaven will stop him from running in Killarney.
Yeah, yes.
On behalf of the people of Killarney, who I have represented for nearly 2 decades. They have shown me tremendous support all these years. I remain grateful for this support. My job in this place is to give voice to them.
Order.
It is a pleasure to be their representative in this place, and I look forward to continuing this representation.
Which is, let me tell you, let me translate that into local Negro language. Michael, you don't play with me. You ain't never win nothing from you born. You don't get to tell me where I can run, when I could and can't run. So you hold on to your little leadership for a couple of more days because you will soon directly be the leader of nothing. That's what that means in Negro, simple Negro English. All right? So now we at the point where we got to make a deal. Now we at the point where we got to stop lying, Lincoln, and just tell the people the truth. They so close they can't change their mind now. Now, spiritual advisor, we have to figure out how to let the rubber meet the road. Anyway, you had a jingle. We've got more show. You don't move. We're on 103.5 FM The Beat. I'm Leland Miller. Bradley Roll is with me, and we will be right back.
This segment of Freedom March is brought to you by Modernistic Garden and Pet Supply. For top quality dog food, shop online at modernisticgarden.com or visit our Palmdale, Carmichael, and Mullet Marathon locations today.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Spiritual, let's go to the ad.
Are your dogs hungry and tired of low-quality food? Give them the best of Modernistic. We carry all the top brands. Taste of the Wild, Diamond Naturals, Victor, Inukshuk at the lowest prices in town. If you're on a budget, we've got 50-pound bags starting at just $49. And for a limited time, buy any large bag of dog food and get a $10 coupon redeemable on select dog toys and treats. If you can't make it in, shop online at www.modernisticgarden.com and we'll deliver right to your door. Your pet deserves quality. Your wallet deserves savings. Shop in store or shop online today. Hurry, offer won't last. Thank you, Medusa.
Thank you, spiritual advisor. And so, as I look around the key players, I could look at Iram and I could see right out of the gate, Iram is an FNA. I look at Dr. Hubert Minnis and he just can't help himself from being an FNA, and he won't be one so bad. I watch him jump in the car today, and what I know is he no longer wants to be an FNM. And then Lincoln lied to the people long enough for them to believe that they could coalesce and be independent. All the while, the whole thing was a registered party. And if it's a registered party, then they can't have a problem with party politics because according to the documents, they are a political party. But what we are faced with is a flat-footed opposition that is shiftless and cannot maneuver and cannot get out of its own way. So much so, do you remember yesterday that Michael Pintard put up the flyer with the idea he heard you on Freedom March and call it Michael Pintard thing? That's what he called it, right? What he doesn't know is that that is not the way you do it if you are a legislator. If you are a legislator, you take your good idea as a member of the parliament and you table it on the floor of the parliament. That way, you put the government in a position where if it is a good thing, they now have to publicly oppose. Here is where you put the pressure. Because every person in the governing party that isn't a cabinet minister has the right to vote for your bill. And then you say things like, people in South Beach, I trying to table the fire burning down thing, and Barkers say no. You know what that does to Barkers? It puts pressure on him. And you could say, people in South Beach, I trying to table the fire burning down thing, and Leonardo, no, he in the cabinet. Who else is in the cabinet? Well, Barkers in the cabinet too. But Jesus prayed, put the whole BLP in the cabinet.
No, I don't think Barkers in the cabinet, eh?
Barkers is the parliamentary secretary. That's a cabinet position.
Okay.
Who is the not parliamentary secretary? Leslie. People of Seabreeze, I trying to table the fire burning down thing, and Leslie say no. And now that puts pressure on Leslie. So every person that's not a member of the cabinet could support this document. Let's see what Iram Lewis did today while Michael Pintard over there having an intellectual masturbatory escapade creating flyers about what he could do if you give him power like he ain't already sitting in the House of Assembly.
Mr. Secretary, I rise today on behalf of the Coalition of Independents and the people of Central and Bahama to give notice of my intention to table a bill at the next sitting of this honorable House, the bill entitled the Bahamas National Fire and Rescue Services Act 2025 seeks to establish an independent, modern, and fully resourced fire department separated and apart from the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Mr. Speaker, definitely in recent months, our nation has been plagued by devastating fires. From wildfires across Grand Bahama, Abaco, to major urban bases in the capital that was spoken to earlier this morning by others, these fires have laid bare the urgent need to reform and strengthen our national firefighting capacity. This legislation will create a standalone Bahamas National Fire and Rescue Services with its own leadership and budget, equip every major inhabited island with modern fire trucks, proper equipment and trained personnel, introduce aerial firefighting capabilities for the first time in our history with water bombers, aircraft for tackling wildfires, reopen and refurbish dormant fire stations currently attached to police facilities, empower firefighters with investigative and enforcement authority and ability to support the police force in national emergencies. Importantly, the bill proposes funding avenues through the government's new carbon credit program, linking fire prevention to climate resilience and economic opportunity. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy, this is not just a policy decision, it's a matter of national safety, sovereignty, and preparedness. So I look forward to the support of my colleagues on both sides of this honourable House as we work together to protect the lives, property, and environment of every Bahamian. Thank you, Mr. Deputy.
And now Lincoln get to go and say, you see that? Michael didn't care about y'all. All Michael do was put together a flyer. It take you 6 minutes with ChatGPT to put a flyer together. And if you're using words like your name, ChatGPT already know what you want to say. Just put in make flyer with my name on it and bam, 6 seconds, right? But Lincoln them gonna sit down and draft proposed legislation as the third party in the House of Assembly while they got 7 other big grown men. It's 7 or 8 of them. 6 other big grown men sitting there talking about this the opposition. And so now all we need together is a coalition of efforts. Lincoln being, and we could do away with this lying, non-grammatically correct name, but coalitions of independence. Hubert Minnis could decide, you know what, Lincoln, I don't want to be leader of the opposition because you looking for national symbolism. And I already been prime minister. Why would I want to be leader of the opposition? I didn't like that job the first time I had it. You let Lincoln go be the leader of the opposition. They could put him upstairs in the little white room with one desk. He could be up there. Ain't no picture up there. Ain't no nothing up there. Him, the desk, and the white tile. But he could be leader of the opposition. And now Michael Pintard and Hiram Lewis could just pour legislation after legislation after legislation and after. They could pour legislation, tell the speaker cuss. Because that's all they come to the house to do. And then you call Brown and you say, Brown, you light skin, but come go with us. And you put him up in the Senate and all he do is Kaiso Darren Enfield and all them other people, right? And now they are a political movement. But if they continue on scattering their efforts like this, the FNM ain't going nowhere, the COI ain't gonna go nowhere, and Brave and Chester could taste the victory, and everybody out there gonna be voting for the PLP if you fool with this. So only 2 things need to happen now, spiritual advisor. You know what the 2 things are?
I'm listening, go ahead.
Lincoln have to stop lying. He'll say yes. And then ministers have to stop menacing. And when they get together, because Hiram don't have no plan. I just want you to know, Hiram, that ship could blow in whatever sail the wind blow from, right? And then they'll have a movement. And then they'll have enough money. And then they'll be able to take the opposition. And then Michael Pintard, who think election in September, but he ain't got a single person nominated, including himself, will be out there with the hand on the chin like this. You see how wonderful that'll be? And then that way, all of them could stop spying on me, spiritual advisor, because I want them to know I don't like when man spy on me. And I know Shanta knows his number. And my phone have 919 on speed dial. And if y'all keep spying on me, I told you Rodney want me with these fellas before. Y'all like to sit down home all day with no idea in y'all head and spy on man. You know what Rodney tell me but y'all already?
Want me to believe that y'all ain't no sissy? Y'all is a bunch of sissy men. God forgive me for calling them a bunch of sissy men. But y'all are sissy men. And I figure y'all out. Because anytime you see men doing that kind of foolishness, they are anti-woman and they're a bunch of sissy men. That's what they are.
So stop spying on me, because other than that, I'll have to accuse y'all of being exactly what Rodney said y'all was. Anyway, spiritual advisor, what's been happening where you been all day today?
Nothing much, man. I just been.
You want a pom-pom?
So what's that all about now?
My pom-pom is because Minnis say he running in Kalani. Minnis running in Kalani.
So more likely he's gonna run as an independent.
I know. You've been listening to me the whole show. Minnis can run as a FNA.
No, man. Come on, man. Ain't nobody.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
What are you going to run as a COI? That ain't grammatically correct.
Yeah, he's gonna run probably as an independent.
He's not going to do that.
Okay, so who all knows about this FNA party? I haven't heard. You're the only person that actually says it. I don't hear any.
So you believe? Hold on.
Anywhere else in the Bahamas?
So you believe they spy on the fire legislation You believe they spy on the early election, but you do somehow believe they TVs break down or whatever they used to spy on me with. You believe they stop spying when I get to the FNA part? No, they writing that down.
Okay.
And so all I saying is, hey, I'm an easy sell, right? Y'all don't have to convince me at all. I could be the leader of the FNA, but that's only till Lincoln reach. And when Lincoln reach, I can say, I don't know, give me a good way to say it, spiritual advisor. I'm going into fasting. And when I come out of fasting, I can tell them I had a revelation that Lincoln, because then that's what the prophetess say. I just found out, I can say, the prophetess say that Lincoln should lead. And so who am I to fight the prophetess? And then I can just let Lincoln lead, and then after that, Lincoln can say, well, I don't even want to lead in the parliament. I just want to be leader of the opposition. So you know what I can do when they go in parliament? I can go upstairs in my office and spin around behind the desk till they come out. But while they're in the parliament, Minister can lead them. And since Hiram followed Minister before, and Adrian owed Minister favor, and Crazy is Minister's nephew, and who else is now? We ain't need more than that. And Minister's Minister, bam! The FNA will be the opposition. Because according to the poll they take, if the PLP call the election September, when Michael say he think they could call it, the PLP are 48% likely to win an election. And I don't know if you've been following elections in the Bahamas, all you need is 48%. You don't really need more than that.
Okay.
That should be giving them the horrors. When Michael Pintard wake up and saw that thing, he should wake up in a cold sweat and throw salt at the fire. Oh boy. Anyway, so what else happened today?
I honestly didn't take a look at the newspapers.
No?
No, I didn't.
So the Prime Minister was in the news today talking about how Marco Rubio them tell him, every now and again when the spirit hit me, I can shake my bomb spiritual advisor. You okay with that?
Go ahead.
Okay, good. Marco Rubio them tell him that he can't hire the Spanish nurse them. You hear that?
I heard something.
And that he told Americans, well, listen, we don't know about no improprieties in employment. However, we invite you all to give us whatever intelligence you all have because you all might have some intelligence. And the one thing I like about Brave, right? They tell me Brave is the best defense lawyer they've ever seen, right? Outside of John Henry Bostwick. But can I tell you, the mind of the Prime Minister is so simplistic sometimes. When I listen to him communicate, Brave is literally communicating genius at a 5th grade level. Does it make sense? So what the Prime Minister said was, well, while I cannot prove this thing is happening, while there's no way for me to verify this thing is happening, I think the thing that we ought to consider or that we ought to focus on are the ingredients of the crime. What is necessary for the crime to take place? And then see if we could track that down. I say, by jingles, Brave smart, eh? I never even thought about that, right? Because the law is very matter of fact. It's either black or white. Either we doing it or we ain't doing it.
Right.
But Brave say, let's not argue the matter of whether it's happening or not happening. Let us see if we could find the elements that make up the offense happening. And then we could look for those things, which I think is brilliant. Yeah? But I have a question, spiritual advisor.
So what is being alleged?
It is being alleged that the Bahamas is engaging in labor, forced labor with the Cuban government, and that the people coming here to work and that we giving the money to the Cuban government. And that shouldn't be allowed to happen because that is considered in accordance with human trafficking.
Right.
But I have a question. When do Americans decide this?
Since Donald Trump won.
No, man. You know who started this? Mm-hmm. You know who started this, letting people come to work and paying the government thing?
Who? Go ahead.
America.
Okay.
Your granddaddy ain't been on no contract?
Yeah.
Because mine been.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're watching me right now on TV, your granddaddy been on the contract.
So who used to get the money?
The British government. You know who was paying it to them?
The American?
The American government. So when did the Americans decide that this was such a horrible thing?
All right, so let them know they're wrong then.
I say they're wrong. I saying I don't know when they decide that this was a most demonic thing to be allowing to happen. When they do it for about 20 years.
Yeah, well.
Are you scared to talk about
They
the
got the
Americans?
power. No, they got the power. They
I
make the
know, all
rules.
I'm saying is, I don't like the way Americans are street crime. They remind me of the people that keep making the accusations against the jet ski boys. Let me tell you what I just witnessed, where I just stay often in my life enough. I witnessed the Americans get in the illegal vehicle. I witnessed the Americans appear from where I stand to be either using or purchasing marijuana. I witnessed the Americans from where I stand either processing or using the marijuana. I witnessed the Americans get on a jet ski that you could see from a helicopter in a legal, lawful one. So Pookie riding with them, breaking the law all day. Now all of a sudden, Pookie say, well, we might still have some illegal sex. And then they won't report the illegal sex. And all I'm saying is, if you condone illegality at the beginning, you can't then report the illegality at the end, spiritual advisor. Why, when Pookie pick you up in this car with no license plate on it, you ain't call the police? Why, when Pookie carry you to the dope shop by Blacks, Chukwintine Alley, you ain't call the police? Why, when Pookie put you on this illegal motorbike, you ain't call the police? All of a sudden, now Pookie will have some illegal sex, you pointing the police phone up calling it. And this is the same thing the Americans are doing here, right? When Mike and Daddy was on the contract, I think they say 1/3 of his salary went to the British government, and 2/3 was split between either him and his household or however the arrangement was. But this was an American concept. And, right? Because America may say, oh, well, that was then, this is now.
Yeah, hindsight. Yeah, that's what they
Fantastic. Well, since you all don't want us to hire Cubans, here's another great idea. Stop siphoning our nurses and doctors to America. And when somebody apply talking about they want to be American citizen and give work permit, you tell them, no.
I don't know if it's fair to say that the Americans are siphoning out.
Well, what they doing?
Well, here's reality. The Bahamas needs to pay these people more. The reason why our Bahamian nurses and doctors end up in the States is because they get paid more.
It's because America's siphoning them off.
They get paid more. They get more benefits.
What you call that?
You know, if you want, I don't know if that's just the standard thing for them. They pay them more.
Why the Bahamas ain't paying them more?
I don't know. I don't know.
We ain't got more. We paying them all we got. But they don't have to tolerate us. You know why? Because America will hire them faster than you could say Jack Robinson. And so, Sheila May, been a nurse for 20 years. She's developing gout in her left foot. She's walking with a little limp now. Right? White American hospital say, Sheila, boy, this little limp you're walking with, they're getting kind of bad. You plan to do big time nursing for the rest of your life? Sheila say, well, nursing is all I know. Right? So they say, well, how much the Bahamian people is pay you? Sheila say, about $45,000 a year. They say, $45,000 a year? Sheila, we could pay you that by June. Sheila say, boy, you know, now that I come to think, but this limp is getting kind of bad, man. Now Sheila pack up, because remember, Sheila wanted to be a nurse because she loved nursing and care about her patients, and it ain't about the money. Remember, that's what Sheila said when she was 19 and was a nurse. That this was a service of love. I care about the patients. Next thing you know, Sheila May living in Miramar in one townhouse, making $90,000 a year, and she don't even limp no more. The money make her walk straight and all. That's called siphoning, spiritual advisor.
Okay, well, you call it that. I don't call
Then
it
what you
that.
call it?
I don't call it that.
So if America won't help us, this is a very smooth fix. When people with RN or MD attached to their name follow the application form for alien resident visa status, you tell them no. And you tell them, the reason we telling you no is because we don't want Cubans to be exploited. We want them to be able to stay home. And y'all prime ministers say, the more y'all that I give these resident visa status to, the less of them y'all they have inside the hospital. And so y'all can't come. No. X. And while we at it, let's cancel your tourist visa too, just in case you think you can come here and work illegally in a hospital. Problem fixed. We ain't never need to hire another Cuban. So all I'm saying is, I don't want the Americans to continue to play possum with me. Is that okay? Is that fair?
That's fine.
I don't want the Americans to throw a rock and hide their hand. That's fair. I don't want the Americans to act like this wasn't their baby to born. This whole concept, or you could pay the government for man to work, that was the Americans. So I don't know when they get so righteous and so above being able to do this. And when it became the exploitation of people. And because you trying to tell me your granddaddy get all the money back from the British government? I don't think so. I know one thing, my granddaddy built a wooden house with 2 bedrooms. It ain't no way he get all he money off the contract. And I will tell you from my own knowledge that they took my other granddaddy out of here and he wasn't even 18 yet. He was still a boy. And my granddaddy says that he could recall some of the physical abuse many of them suffered while they was down there. So when did the Americans start to hate this?
Okay, so you call them hypocrites.
I call them Americans. And I don't like the way the Americans just report crime. Americans only like to report the crimes they ain't like, and I ain't like that.
Okay.
Yeah, either you, see, you can't say you against something now that you stop doing it. That's unfair, and I'm against that. And so I want the Americans to stop that, all right? So, where are we now? Lincoln made them need to come see me about a real name, because Coalition of Independence is not one.
Okay.
He also should stop lying. Right?
You need to get his contact and speak with him.
Or he could just continue to spy on me so they could draft more legislation. Right? Because you can't say that you oppose political parties while you have a fully functioning registered political party. That's the only way Hiram Lewis could be a COI member. And if you are an actual party, you should get You should get the grammatical content of the party's name correct, because if you can't get that correct, what else you can mess up? You can be just like Shannon on Cartwright with that silly sign. Because he can't get that correct yet, that ain't fixed yet. Don't worry about that though. Michael Alkidas got one would look just like it. I don't know what going on with them. 2x6 costs plenty money now. Michael Alkidas. Tell the people fix that silly sign, it looks silly. But all I'm saying to you, spiritual advisor, right, is small nonsense lead to big nonsense. And if Lincoln them want anybody to take them serious, you should sweep up the small nonsense now, because you still have time.
Do you want people to take them serious?
Oh, I have no horse in this race.
Well, they're already beaten then. I mean, I wouldn't be.
Yeah, unless they come join the FNA. And then I'd be so happy to see my party just take over the opposition and watch Michael Pintard fade to silt. Yeah, that's exactly what will happen to them. If Michael Pintard stopped being the leader of the opposition today, the media would stop talking to him yesterday. But for the title, they have absolutely no reason to talk to him. He doesn't say anything that is intelligent. The man say he think election could be September. You heard him say that. And then he nominate a single soul. He got the names in his pocket. It's because they're interested in playing with people. They're interested in dangling the carrot, because that gives them a sense of grandeur. They get to hang this thing over people's head. You want to be a candidate? You want to be a candidate? Jump. Jump, little man, jump. Jump, candidate, jump. Oh, you almost had it. Oh, jump. Oh, it gotta be quicker than that. And it's wrong to do that to people. I'm Christian, spiritual advisor. That is incorrect to do to people. And so I want them to stop that, all right? Anyway, so Hiram was in the House of Assembly today in the Speaker's chair. The Americans are out here acting like they so righteous. I don't even know why the Prime Minister talked to them about that. Because I would have just bring the accounts, what you call the thing when you get your pay slip. And you was banker, help me with this.
What you
call the book what accounts department is have when everybody get their pay slip? What you call that thing? The pay sheet?
Payroll, okay.
I was bring no, it's the payroll when it leave accounts. But when everybody get paid, they stop this. You never see the accounts department with the thing would look like it come out of a fax machine with everybody pay information in it.
Oh.
And they just scorch your name out with the marker as you get your pay slip.
Oh, I've never seen that, no.
Oh boy. Anyway, so I was going to bring the one from 1920. a nice guy asked the Americans, then please explain that to me if you're also anti this. Anyway, so while we're talking about white people, I want to talk to Jomo Campbell. So, because I don't want people to say I say, today I was able to find something on the internet, and the white people say that if they had to do sustainable egg farming and do a golden yolk project, here's how they would do it. To take me to the white people who have the chickens that they're giving away. No, we ain't find it yet. Up, we get into the break. That's what's happening. All right, don't move. When we come back, I can show you all how the white people is do sustainable egg farming. We got birthdays on the next side of the break, right?
Yeah.
We doing birthdays on the next side of the break, and we sending shout outs. Don't go anywhere. I almost out of breath in case you know Michael, you know. This is Freedom March. We're on 103.5 FM The Beat. I'm Leland Miller. This is Bradley Rule. He's the spiritual advisor. We'll see you on the next side of the break. Please join us. Welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you so much for staying with us. You want to go to the birthdays first, or you want let me show Jomo what the people say about the chicken? Let's go to the birthdays. Let's do the birthday shout out.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see if we have them here already.
While you're waiting on that, let me say a special shout out to Retired Commodore Cliff Scavella, I saw him today, spiritual advisor. He sent you his regards as well.
Absolutely.
And he was out there running. You know, it is people like Mr. Scavella that let me know two things. One, God is real. And two, the will of a man is an indomitable thing. I saw him running, and I remember there was a time when they told me they wasn't sure he would ever walk again. But there he was, the 6-footer, the big right-hander from Eleuthera, putting in a decent little warm-up bimble, or a warm-down bimble, he called it, you know. So I heckled him from my vehicle and told him he's got to lift his knees and run a little faster than that. We had a wonderful little lighthearted moment. And the one thing that fascinated me was, even at 60, or there's about, he's able to stop running and start running again. I want to tell you now, if I stop running, wherever I stop running, the run stop. And that's kind of where I am in my physical fitness. But let's get these birthday shout-outs in.
Birthday shout-outs, May the 7th. Tiazuddin. We want to wish Tiazuddin a very special happy birthday. It's coming from her daughters, Carla and Michelle, and her son Derek, also from her son-in-law, Pat, and her daughter-in-law, Patrice. Her grandchildren, Camille, Derek Jr., Danielle, Deacon Darian, her great-grandmother, her sister Ethel, and other family and friends. So happy birthday, Tiazuddin. Tony Sands is celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday goes out to the pilot, Tony Sands, coming in from your loving wife and kids, your siblings, uncles and aunts, all your loving cousins, and the Bahamas Air family, coming in from oldest cousin Marcus Strawn. And finally, Shakara, sending a happy birthday out to Shakara from the Artisans Hair Crew, your mom, your hubby. And this is coming from Marcus Strawn. Enjoy your day. Shakara.
And so while we are on the shout-out spiritual advisor, I want to send a shout-out to Mr. Vasco Bastian, who I also heard from today, and who is, still going through a little bit of a patch, Our since losing Senator Rodney Munker. He sent me a picture of him, and he said there's just so many memories of him and the senator, and as he goes back through his picture roll, he just thinks about moments that he and Rodney share. Put the picture up. There he is, Vasco Bastian, with now the late Senator Rodney Munker. And also there's a picture of John Henry Bostwick. We want to also send our condolences to the family of John Henry Bostwick. We'll do a little bit more for him on Friday. That is the plan, right? He picked a bad week to die. Don't die the same week as Rodney Munker. That makes it kind of difficult to get to you. Don't have no birthday the same week Rodney Munker died. That makes it kind of difficult to get to you. So, to his family, I send my regards and my condolences. I know that they've always been very kind to me, and so I want to say there he is with the silk weave on, as president of the Senate at the time. And I think in the picture is Frank Watson, Sir OAT, Orville Turnquest. Is that Tommy? Tommy Turnquest, and then that is the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram, and then is that David Thompson in the back there? I think that's who it is, and from the look of the head behind them, I'm going to say Kenneth Russell, because I don't know anybody else whose hair is as white as that, eh? It must be Kenneth. Anyway.
Yeah, so condolences, of course, goes out to the Bostwick family.
Yes.
Dame Janet Bostwick.
Yes.
John Bostwick Jr.
Yes.
And, of course,
Lisa and Kelly.
Lisa and...
Is it Kelly? Kelly Bostwick?
Perhaps.
That's what she knew.
But condolences to the entire family. Listen, I can tell you what is so interesting is I can remember in the Breakfast Club on numerous occasions, right? Mr. Bostwick would watch the show, and the very next day, if I walk in McDonald's, he said, listen, Roll, come here. Sit on the side of me, man. Sit on the side of me. What's happening? When you're going to try to blah, 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 get this sorted, do this, do the next. This man is something else. And him and Rodney has had a lot of back and forth, but one thing I'll always remember him telling me, he said, you see him there? I love him,
Yeah.
I love him. And that always resonated with me, man. I'll always remember that. So you see that saying, Rodney Munker? Don't mind him running on. I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so condolences to the Bostwick family. And of course, Mr. Bostwick, no doubt, will be greatly missed indeed.
And another person that came to my mind in the middle of all of this Rodney deading period was Nicholas Jacks. Have you heard from Nicholas Jacks?
Yeah. I seen him over the weekend.
Brother Jacks, please, sometime today, if you're listening to this, call into the show, man. I haven't heard from you in such a long time. I was at home yesterday, and I began, when people die, my daddy's been dead 9 years, spiritual advisor. And, people still ask me for my daddy, and they are in shock and awe when I tell them, my daddy's been dead 9 years. They just can't believe it, right? I guess death is that instant. And so I said, boy, I hear from Brother Jacks. I hope Brother Jacks know Rodney dead. But I imagine that he must
Jacks
know.
is all right.
Yeah, I know that I bet he must know. So, Brother Jacks, if you could please, I know you're a very busy fella, call into the show. I'd like to hear your voice as we continue this week of tributes and condolences to Rodney, but as we also continue to do what Rodney Wonka would call run on about the things that are happening in this country, eh? How does that sound?
Indeed.
Good stuff.
Absolutely.
So Jomo Campbell started or restarted the Golden Yoke program, and I mean, for what it's worth, it's golden. It have a yoke. It's a wonderful program. But this is how the white people said he was doing it, and I thought, wow, if Jomo was a white man, this must see how he was going to do it.
A city in Belgium offered 3 chickens per household to anybody that wanted a chicken. They had 2,000 families raise their hands and says, yeah, we'll take 3 chickens. So they got 6,000 chickens, distributed them through this city. First month, it dropped 100 tons of food waste to the landfill. What? And so not only did they eliminate the landfill waste, all these people now suddenly had chickens. And Pat's done all the math on this and shows that if 1 in 3 households had enough chickens to eat your kitchen scraps, there would not be an egg industry in the United States. It would be completely non-essential.
And so you hear what the white people say in Belgium, Jomo? They say, don't put all the chicken them on one farm for the government to watch. What to do? Put everybody in the room. Say, everybody, y'all in the room. When they say, yeah, you say, good. Then you say, everybody who want carry home, I don't like 3. I don't like odd numbers. Everybody who want carry home between 4 and 6 chicken, raise your hand. Then people can raise their hand. And then you say, good. We can give you all 6. And we can give you all each 100 pounds of feed. And you know what we can do for you all? Here's what we can do for you all. What you can do for us. If you was a small carpenter in your constituency, raise your hand. And they can raise their hand. And you say, good, you know what we want y'all to do for us? And they can say, what you want us to do for you? You can say, we want y'all to go by these people who raise their hand first. And we want y'all to build them a coop box. It'd have to be 10 foot wide by 5 foot by, 4 or 5 foot off the ground. They can say, okay. And then you put all them on a little contract to build a little box. Right? Then you tell them, the box have to have vents on 3 sides, and it have to have a roost. And they can say, okay, they can write that down. And then you say, and right off from where the box is, I want you to also build a rack with 4 nesting or 6 nesting boxes. And they can write that down. Then the little small contractor, you can pay him $1,200 or $1,500 to go do this. And he can go get lost doing this. And then you can raise the chicken in the big yard where you got all the chickens. And then, when the chicken them get teenage, which is so they don't die from being in the cold no more, you take the 6 chicken, you drop it by Beulah May them. Beulah May got a 6 chicken. Now, Beulah May got 6. Sherry Ann got 6. Lily May got 6. Who else lived to this corner, spiritual advisor?
Which corner is that?
The corner where Beulah May, Sherry Ann,
I don't know.
And then, spiritual advisor, you don't know how to tell story. You gotta tell story.
Yeah, sometimes I'm not creative at all.
And then, right, Bala could live to the corner. Bala could live there. Mm-hmm. So Bala lived through the corner. All right, so now you got Sherry Ann. Who else we got? Beulah May and Bala, and all of them live through the same corner. Now guess what they just do? Come out by the community park to talk with their chicken. So now you have community initiative, right? And then one day, 10 weeks, 12 weeks up the road, they all gonna have chicken egg. And now they got a new thing to come out in the community and talk about. And then all the children is come and talk about the egg. And nobody in this neighborhood need to buy egg because Sherry Ann and Bala and all of them got 6 eggs a day minimum. And once you start raising animals, you can buy your own feed. You ain't gonna let the government do that. And guess what? We will have a sustainable egg product. This ain't leaving. That's what the white people say. Because when Lehman said it, you all hated the idea. But I so happy I find white people on the internet who doing it like this. And they say it reduced the landfill. You heard it. And they say that if you did it this way, we wouldn't need to go let Rupert Roberts bring us the egg them with the turn spotty. You see the spotty egg Rupert Roberts them is bring?
I haven't seen any spotty eggs. I've been really buy eggs from him.
First of all, the eggs
I've
are
never seen
unwashed.
Okay.
What do you mean, okay? When I go to the food store, I don't want unwashed eggs. I would really like some washed eggs. I like when the eggs are washed. And if you are out there, you don't like eggs washed? I know I like when my eggs wash. So why would you put unwashed eggs inside Rupert Roberts' shop? Anyway, so at least now you know exactly where your eggs come from. You know exactly where the chickens come from. You know exactly what you feed them. And we'd have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people in the neighborhood. I don't know. They say 5,288 people. Or is it 5,822 people? There's a 5, a 8, and a 2 in the number that are registered in South Beach. Imagine if you had 2,600 of them with 4 chicken apiece. Could you imagine what we'd be doing in South Beach? And you build a little coop on the wall, and you build a nice little roost, and there you have it. Boom, everybody got chickens, everybody got eggs. But it's just the idea I had in my head until I hear the white people say it, so now I don't want it to be my idea no more. I'm comfortable with the white people teething my idea. Jomo Campbell, you could borrow that idea from the white people, that ain't mine. And then you could become the most egg-producing minister of agriculture in the history of egg-producing ministers of agriculture. You want to open the phone lines?
Yeah, I guess we could.
Let's open the phone lines. See, I want you to know something, spiritual advisor. These people that we just call into the show, they're not safe at all. Because we've been opening up the phone line 45 minutes early, 35 minutes early. None of them call yet and say, boy, we really appreciate you all for opening up the phone lines early. But you let me miss and talk 3 minutes past the half-hour mark. And they'll say, crucify me.
That's all right.
Anyway.
They are followers, so we must tolerate it.
They sinful people.
323-7775-6980-775-698 0776. You can call us. The lines are officially open if you want to engage us. The number starts 323-7775-6980-77. Sorry, 323-7775-6980-775.
I have a message for you from the children them. The children them was in the car last week, Thursday, when we were giving them the tickets. And the children them was with the woman them. And the children them tell me to tell the spiritual advisor, stop saying the number fast like that. Children them, you all see I tell him?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll say it a bit slow. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Yeah, spiritual advisor.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I am all right. Divan.
Hey, buddy.
I appreciate you as spiritual advisor for opening up the lines for an hour. Okay, let me be the first one.
You're a safe man, I could tell.
I did, serious.
Yeah.
But Divan, I like what you're trying to do in terms of, instead of complaining for another 52 years, we trying to come up with solutions for the myriad problems that we have. So I want to offer another solution.
Okay, what you got?
That's been out there for years, and friends, family, and lovers that these politicians get these jobs to don't understand what was happening. You see the fire hydrants?
Mm-hmm.
You remember when we was little boys, those things used to work?
Yeah.
You know why they don't work no more, spiritual and divine? Because when we do roadworks and when we do main repair, we disconnect the fire hydrant from the water mains under the ground.
Right.
That is where fire hydrants are supposed to be hooked in, to the main water main under the ground all over your country, where water is difficult to get.
Yeah, that's what I'm told. I'm told that they're supposed to be charged. That they used to do the deep well system, but that's too hard to maintain, I'm told.
They just hook up into the main.
Yeah.
You remember we had water mains change all over this country, the big blue mains?
Yeah.
They ain't hook them fire hydrants back into them.
Wow.
That's why when they get to them, ain't no water in it.
Yeah. All right.
So that's the solution, and they need to pay me.
They can just spy on you. They ain't gonna pay you. They can spy on you. They can listen to your idea, and next thing you know, they can let ChatGPT generate them an AI flyer with their name on it.
That's right, because in 1 year, we can have this problem of access to water for those Indians. So,
Yeah.
thanks for taking my call.
All right, thank you, Jan. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Hi, good afternoon. How you doing?
Good.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Great, great. Mr. Miller, I'm happy that you are hopefully going to continue to take the mantle from Mr. Monka.
Pray.
I enjoy listening to you when you're on Shanique Miller's show. You do a very good job. But I have two comments. The first one is the woman, interim leader. Well, I don't think he can fill those shoes. You need to finally, niche.
Okay.
And as far as you having the conversation earlier about the Americans, I don't think you're going to get the spiritual advisor to follow you on that.
Yeah.
I remember when Sharon, Mr. Monk, was talking about Canada, he's very quiet. And he said, you don't want no Canada. And Mr. Monk was like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, oh.
Yeah, you got to be careful
So
how
he
you
may
talk.
not be with you on that.
Yeah, you
Oh,
got to
boy.
be careful how you talk about some of these countries, man, because I need to get to these countries.
Oh,
you
boy.
see? So
Don't worry, we'll go
Yeah,
to
that's what it
Jamaica.
is.
The Jamaicans ain't gonna stop me. Jamaica, I coming to see you.
That's spiritual advisor, though. He want to go America.
America and Canada.
Ah, boy.
Good day.
Yes,
Thank you,
too.
caller.
All right, take care.
And spiritual advisor, the Jamaicans just give you your Jamaican visa for 6 months, one shot. When you land, they just give you 6. Go with that.
Jamaica.
Yeah, the minute you land, 6.
Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live. Are you there, caller?
I tell the little Jamaican girl, I even ain't gonna be here for 6 days. She give me 6 months visa.
Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
A pleasant good afternoon, gentlemen. How you doing?
Good afternoon.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Miller, for opening the phone lines very early. You're doing a good job. Now, I have a comment. Mr. Miller and Mr. Royal, you guys remember when Gladstone Farms was opened up back in the day?
Yeah, remember that? Yeah.
Remember we used to grow our own chickens and supply the whole Bahamas with chickens. I used to work with there as a security officer back then. And the amount of chickens that were growing out there, if we could get that same initiative now and find that type of land again and start to grow, start for the chickens to lay eggs, then we don't have to worry about importing these eggs from all over the place when we know what we grow in here in our Bahama land. I don't know why all of a sudden they shut down just like that.
I don't know either, but let me tell you something. Before I was a big bad BDF Marine, lifty and shifty, hot gun, hot shot, hot rod, like that kind of stuff, high speed, no drag. I too used to work for a man named George Ramin and Ramin Construction. And we used to repair the roof on those chicken coops, right? And I remember that the chickens require like 0 effort. Like they literally, you feed them and you put water and boom, chicken.
And that's it.
And I often tell people that if you think chickens are hard to raise, consider this, caller. Chickens just walk around in the grove all day.
Okay.
So they can't be that difficult to raise, right? And I like the Belgians' idea. See, when you talk about having to house 10,000 chickens somewhere, you're talking about needing land and roof and sheet metal and hurricane might blow it away because chicken coops ain't no like elaborate construction. But if you give everybody a little poema box, right? Nice little ventilated something, the average household could raise between 4 to 6 chickens with 0 effort. You wake up 6 o'clock, you throw out some feed.
Back then, that was almost like 10,000 chickens they had on just
Yeah, I remember that. Remember they used to separate the layers from the broilers?
Okay.
And then, do you know that actually emotionally scarred me at one point, because every morning they used to like take out about 150 or 200 chickens and put them on the conveyor belt, right?
And slaughter.
And I was like a 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy. I think George was involved in child labor, but we'll let the U.S. Embassy take a look at that. And they used to put the chickens on the conveyor belt and dump them in the thing called the boiler. And when they dump the chicken, so the chicken on the conveyor belt going clack, 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 right? And all of a sudden you'll hear the chicken go clack, and that'll be it. That'll be it. And the thing was shake him and shake him and shake him and shake him
I
and
don't know
shake
why
him.
we don't just get back to that. You imagine 10 to 20,000 chickens right here in Nassau, Bahamas alone, just laying eggs. We ain't talking about now.
Yes.
chickens just for slaughtering. We're talking now just for chickens for eggs.
Layers, yeah. But caller,
eggs.
caller, I'm trying
you know
to
how much jobs that will bring back for people that don't have nothing to do?
I'm trying to put your mind in a different space. I hear the employment thing, right? But let's think about food sustainability. Imagine if you lived in a community with 5,000 people, and 2,500 of you all had 5 chickens. Now I want to give you a little maths. A healthy chicken lays about an egg and a half a day, right?
Correct.
So imagine if you had 5 chickens laying 1.5 egg a day, right?
Correct.
Times 5 days a week, or 7 days a week, times, I don't know, 4 weeks a month, times 12 money. You know how much egg in this one community?
Okay then.
No one in this community will ever have to buy the unwashed egg from them.
Okay then. And spiritual advisor, if you don't know what Levan talking about, go right there and Super Value and get one of those Super Value cartons. And the eggs them look like polka dot, like Easter eggs. Black and white. The shell white and all type of black spot on it.
That might actually be, but no. Now let me not make it sound like that is a horrible thing. So some people say that if you don't wash the egg, the shelf life is longer.
Open the egg then.
Well, I never opened none, but I know.
Open it then. And it tastes different.
I know that when you wash off
Trust
the egg,
me when I tell you that.
you wash off the protective layering or something like that, and now you have to refrigerate it. You know about that?
Yep.
But if you don't wash the egg, you can keep it on a shelf, and it should be good for 6 to 9 months.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not this sad though. But y'all have a good day though.
Appreciate you, caller.
All right.
Great.
And make sure they know I say that. Make sure Jomo know the white people from Belgium say that. All right? That is the most sustainable way to have eggs. Let's take another call.
Yes, good afternoon, Spiritual Advisor.
Good afternoon.
Levi Miller, how you doing, sir?
Everything good, Dave?
Yeah, Levi Miller, I'm Spiritual Advisor. Question. Did they for them as a party send a condolence to Rodney Mungo?
No.
I haven't seen one.
I mean, it's very unfortunate how the FM is still in politics in the man there, because I noticed they know assembly, certain FNMs, didn't even, acknowledge Rodney Mungo. So like this, that's why just do what you could do. And please, Gorgia. But that being said, Spiritual Advisor.
Yes, sir?
No, Below.
Hey.
There's a few chronic callers who's called a certain talk show, a radio station, talking foolishness, lying all day, like a gentleman right there. Every egg that come in this country have to pass food safety. True of what?
Well, BASFA is a very new agency, so I'm going to say true, but let's remember, I think BASFA 3 years old.
No. What I'm trying to say, like I said, I ain't going to station him to get in trouble, but there's a particular gentleman who called the show just now, called himself Grammy Boy. This man yesterday called the talk shows and said the firefighters who were in the police force failed the police test, and that's why they were firemen, and that's a blatant lie.
Yeah, I don't know that to be the truth. I don't know.
No, but see, the man who called himself called Grammy Boy. They have a partner calling this particular talk shows, spreading lies and propaganda, and that's very, very disrespectful to firemen who work in the Bahamas, okay?
Yeah.
And last thing.
Hold on,
Dave.
Dave,
right?
Dave.
Yes, sir.
I think we may be wrong about condolences to Rodney. I believe Michael Pintard made a statement.
I don't know.
No, that's what I asked him. That's what I'm asking. I'm asking.
Yeah, I think he did.
No, Levi Miller.
Hey.
That's why Spiritual Advisor is a good man. He's a good man. You're all on the ground. That's why it's very good to campaign. You do know on the campaign trail for the past 6 years,
this music
I come across many homes.
All right.
To go.
Dave, tell the Attorney General, regulate the car impound lot and stop letting Pookie carry the people's car in the ghetto. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you for staying with us through the break. Leaving Miller is here. We've got Tanya on the line. Hello, Tanya.
Good afternoon, spiritual advice, and good afternoon, Mr. Miller. It's your girl Tanya coming to you live from Shop Smart Department Store, your miracle, right here at number 122 Marquis Street, where we say we're here for you for whatever season of your life and for everyday living. It has gotten so much better here at Shop Smart because for Mama, we have taken 20% off store-wide and up to 50% off on all of our Mother's Day items. You can come on in to Shop Smart, the home of the smart shopper, and pick up all of these lovely items you see for Mother's Day. We have got all of the teddy bears, we've got the throw pillows, we have got the candles that are only $1, the Zodiac candles for $1. We've got the spa items starting at $1.50 that you can come on in and pick up. We've got all of your picture frames. We have got your 3-piece gray set, dish set, that is the saucer, the bowl, and the cup for only $7. Yes, you can come on into Shop Smart right here on Marquis Street and you can get yourself everything you need for Mom. You can get your blinds 20% off, your curtains, your sheets, your comforters, your rugs, whatever Mama need to get that house decorated. You can come into Shop Smart and take advantage of our 20% off store-wide sale. But we have also got 30% off of our pot set, and we have got 30% off of our 30-piece gray set. Shop Smart is open Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. for your shopping convenience. Or you can visit us on our website at www.shopsmart242.com or give us a call here at the store. Our numbers here are 698-1051 or 698-1052. Or reach out to us on our social media handles. That is ShopSmart242. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. Mr. Manka, Mr. Miller, and you, spiritual advisor. You know, here at Shop Smart, we always remind you to shop early, to shop often, and to shop smart. You have a fine.
Thank you so much, Tanya.
Thank you, Tanya.
So that's Tanya from Shop Smart down on Marquis Street, the Miracle on Marquis Street. While we at it, I also want to send a special shout out to my barber, Ali, from Island Connect. I want to tell you a little joke, spiritual advisor. You know, I keep telling you, you don't keep me on the straight and narrow, you know. So I wake up this morning.
Ali.
Yeah.
The barber.
Yeah, I talking to you now. I wake up this morning. I say, oh, Jesus, I have to go to Ali because Commodore King handing over the ship. And so I speed to Ali, and he cut my hair. My hair look nice, hey? And I say, boy, my hair could be good and fresh when I get to the handing over ceremony.
That's actually tomorrow.
Gone home.
It's actually tomorrow.
Put on all my clothes.
Wow.
Start the car, because I can start my car from inside the house. Start the car. Grab my bike. Get in the car. Then I say, the thing start 9:30 or 10 o'clock. Check the invitation. It starts 10 o'clock. I said, good, I read on time. It starts 10 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, you had the wrong day.
So I had to go back inside and take off all my clothes.
Wow.
Spiritual advisor, I need you to keep me on the straight and the narrow.
That happens to the best of us, man.
My God, man. You could imagine if I show up on them people base with all my clothes on. Ah, boy. So, he must have cut my hair too good, eh? He must have cut the sense over it.
Wow.
And you gotta laugh at yourself sometimes, on spiritual advice. Other than that, these people around here will give you enough things to cry about.
It's called being human.
So when I leave Island Connect this morning, I speed home, boy, to go get ready. They lucky they had a little children in the road, because little children wouldn't have been safe from me this morning. Because I don't want to miss this. The Commodore was handing over the ship. Ah, boy, this invitation say tomorrow. So tomorrow at 10 o'clock, spiritual advisor, you will be joining me. It's still funny every time I think about it. You'll be joining me, and we will be down there celebrating with the new commander, Floyd Moxie, and his team, Captain Natasha Miller, and of course, Captain Garland Battle. I'm anxious to hear about the speeches. You will get to see His Majesty's men dressed in full regalia.
Wow.
Yeah, and the band will play. I imagine Officer of the Day. You know what it is when you hear it?
I've never been to any Hanover ceremony, so
I'm making history. I'm making history with the spiritual advisor tomorrow. And wherever you see us, make sure you take pictures with us now, because my haircut look really nice, and so does the spiritual advisors. And we could be dressed to the nines tomorrow. And we'll go down there, and they have good wine and good shrimp. We'll have good wine and good shrimp with His Majesty's men down at HMBS Coral Harbor. So that was my one joke this morning.
I'm allergic to shrimp, so.
Oh boy. Spiritual advisor, you don't have no two things I agree with. You don't play music in your church.
Double
you
the wine.
can't eat shrimp.
Double the wine, that's all.
Ah, boy. Double the wine. My kind of guy. So shout out to Ali down there at Ali Gadek on Fox Hill Road. Right next door to the Nance. Who else we got, spiritual advisor? More phone calls?
Are your dogs hungry and tired of low quality food? Give them the best at Modernistic. We carry all the top brands. Taste of the Wild, Diamond Naturals, Victor, Anukshuk, at the lowest prices in town. If you're on a budget, we've got 50-pound bags starting at just $49. And for limited time, buy any large bag of dog food and get a $10 coupon redeemable on select dog toys and treats. If you can't make it in, shop online at www.modernistic.garden.com, and we'll deliver right to your door. Your pet deserves quality, your wallet deserves savings. Shop in store or shop online today. Hurry. Offer won't last.
And so, spiritual advisor, thank you very much. You know that yesterday we heard from 2 callers with the Rev complaint. And I told you all, let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. If you believe in God, believe also in me, eh? And so, my high-speed, low-drag contact down there at Rev got their matters aptly squared away.
Oh, really?
In quick time. I don't mess around. In quick time. A matter of fact, it was so fast, they couldn't believe it was not butter. And I'm advised that the issues weren't even really issues. But I'm happy to say that we have dealt with those matters and that those have been specifically taken care of thanks to the trusted hands of my super duper high speed, no drag contact down there at Rev TV. All right? So that's we taking more calls?
Now, some folks have been texting us and asking us for a date for the late senator's funeral.
Okay.
I believe we do have a date, and I think the funeral is set for May the 23rd.
Okay.
Is it not?
That is the date that I've heard. I haven't gotten confirmation. I knew that May the 10th sounded a little off for more reasons than one. Reason number one, that's the Flamingo Day. I imagine the Prime Minister will be somewhere busy doing some other Flamingo things. And then thing number two is I think the fair, what I'm supposed to win the $5,000 from, is also on that date, is it not?
May the 23rd, I believe, is a Friday. I'm not certain, but let me just double check.
That sounds in accordance with normal government funerals.
Let's see here. Calendar, May calendar. Let's see. May.
You have to do all that to get to your calendar?
I'm kind of slow, folks. So May calendar 2025 is up, and it does appear as if the 23rd is a Friday.
Okay.
So when this Friday comes, it'll be 2 weeks following this Friday.
Right.
We don't have any more details, at least I don't, other than that particular date. I'll have to ask for some more information, I don't know, about the venue and time, but I know that it is scheduled for May the 23rd, and it is going to be a state-recognized funeral.
Then you do have more information.
Yeah, it is going to be a state-recognized funeral, and then you can go to the levels of funerals and see what is a state-recognized funeral.
Right, so we know 10 could be there.
And how involved the government would be with this funeral.
And we also know that his body is going to be laid out at the House of Assembly. And so you could go there to see him.
Not the Senate?
Well, the Senate upstairs, I know they could put him up there.
Okay, no, so maybe the House of Assembly. Let's see.
What all that is the House of Assembly? Whether it's the lower house or the upper house, it's the House of Parliament. So the House of Parliament, rather, not the House of Assembly.
Funeral.
So 10 could be there. We could be there.
So a state-recognized funeral is the third level on the list of precedents of government-supported funerals. Is accorded to members of Parliament, inclusive of the upper chamber, the Senate, serving permanent secretaries and other high-ranking public officials or civilians. The services provided include 1, a live broadcast via radio, the attendance of representatives of the cabinet, parliamentarians, and senior public officials. The funeral date is determined following joint consultation between the government and the family of the deceased. The venue is Christchurch Cathedral. Well, Christchurch Cathedral is considered the cathedral of the state. Consequently, many state funerals are held here. This is not mandatory, however. The family of the deceased, statesman or public official or civilian, the family of the deceased, statesman, public official, civilians allowed to name the venue. So it may not be at Christchurch Cathedral, maybe someplace else. I'll have to find out.
Okay.
So the general public is not restricted from attending this funeral, the state-recognized funeral. However, it should be noted that seating at such funerals is reserved and accessed by invitation only. A select section of the cathedral is sometimes assigned as persons seating for the public. Sorry, let me do this over. A select section of the cathedral is sometimes assigned as open seating for the public and is filled on a first-come, first-served basis. Additionally, covered seating is provided under tents erected adjacent to the church where or when necessary.
That could be for the woman now.
All right, so he's going to receive the third level on the list of precedents of government-supported funerals. As we get more information, I guess we'll let public know about the memorial or any other event that they may decide to do for the senator. So what we can say is that his funeral is slated to be held May the 23rd, which is a Friday. We'll get the venue, and it is going to be a state-recognized funeral.
Okay.
323-7775 is the number to call, 698-0775 and 698-0776. The lines are open.
Brother Jax, please feel free to give me a call. I'd like to hear from you.
Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You are live.
No one now?
323-77.
Put up the dirty eggs that I just sent you so people could see the actual dirty eggs that was inside the place.
Welcome to Freedom March, caller. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
My sympathy goes out to both of you all, and most of all to Mr.
Manka's family?
Paul Mighty. Mighty used to work with NASA Flight Service, and we sent out our sympathy to Mighty.
Mighty Manka, yes.
Yes, from NASA Flight Service. He used to work with us, so all of us to send out our sympathy on behalf of his brother.
Wow. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thanks so much. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live.
Spiritual advisor, Rob Levan.
Hey.
It's Grammy Boy, GNN. I call your show today talking about any fireman or a solution to the fire problem.
I don't remember you talking about no fireman today on this show. So.
Exactly. You see? But let me, since tell Dave, this ain't no political corner here, Grammy Boy. No political here. Telling me back into the wrong corner.
Oh,
and when I speak from experience, what happened to me. When I left the Air Force, United States Air Force, in 1983, I came to the Defense Force Base. Levan, you wasn't there. I had fellas carrying my suitcase, almost a direct entry. But you know what Commander Swinley told me? He said, "Boy, you come out of the United States Air Force, we can take care of you with the benefits which you've been getting over there." So I tell him, don't call me then. I can call you. I took the exam for the Royal Bahamas Police Force. I passed with 98.
Wow.
I wouldn't call the fella's last name who took it with me, but when he died, he was Superintendent Christopher. He took the exam with me. he didn't make the passing grade like I did, and they offered him a ride on the fire branch.
Wow.
You understand me? I never said that when you fail the police force, you was able to go on the fire branch. His mark was lower, and they offered him a spot on the fire branch where he educated himself, and he went back across to the police force branch. Tell Dave, don't do that. Don't come through this corner. This is a dead-end corner with Grammy Boy. Dead-end. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate you, caller.
Callers, I specifically said it's a state-recognized funeral. There is a difference between the number 1 funeral, which is the state funeral, and the number 3, state-recognized, all right? I specifically said it's going to be a state-recognized funeral. There is a difference, okay? Welcome to Freedom March. Caller, you're live.
Hello?
You're live, caller.
Yes, Mr. Miller and Spiritual, how are you both?
Good.
As best as you could be.
I just want to make like an assertion I want to say. I heard you all a couple of minutes ago were talking about this egg business and chicken business and what's not. Well, let me just cut it short by saying, anytime you all have a problem with chicken racing and eggs and this, call some of the people in Eleuthera. We had the first poultry and dairy in this country which used to supply the entire 700 islands where people used to live.
Yes.
Believe me, the 52 miles and the passing jack used to make 2 and 3 trips a day into Nassau with pure chicken and eggs and milk and ice cream, and I could go on. But in the late 60s, sometime they're touching the 70s when the chicken farm, I don't know why they began to close down.
It wasn't because the American carry all the it wasn't because America carry all the laborers and they end up on the contract. That wasn't what happened.
No. That wasn't what happened.
Okay.
It was quite a few different things happened, but anyhow, that's a different subject for a different time.
Okay.
Like the same time when the chicken farm went down, it was in no time after that Pan American closed her wings up, and she went, and you know, well, if you don't know, you know now, Pan used to be the only jet plane runs into South Eleuthera from New York to Nassau, or from New York, Rock Sound to Nassau, and when she were going, man, a tears was falling from everybody's eyes because, well, I ain't been here that long, but I could say I know when I used to go to Miami and come back, stop in Nassau, then come to Rock Sound for $27.50. That was the wrong trip.
Wow.
And you know what is so alarming? That just died right out, and all on a sudden, we got hell to get on a 50-seater.
Well, $27 for $27. I don't know how long it was supposed to last, caller.
Well, what I'm saying, I know as time go by, Brother Miller,
of course.
Things increases. But the fact remains, man, you know what it costs to go from Rock Sound to Nassau and back now?
I hear. A matter of fact, I hear if you want to go from Nassau to Bimini, you need but $400. Nobody could justify that for me yet.
Well, I don't know about those places, but I could tell you about Rock Sound because I just went off Friday past, nearly $240. Something has to be wrong with that man.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, the mail boat ain't much different, and 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, caller.
If I can go to see for 8 hours, I can join the
We
defense
appreciate
force
your
again.
contribution.
Yeah, let's take some more calls.
Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live.
Yes, good afternoon, Spiritual Advisor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you, to Brother Miller.
Hey.
Listen to me, Brother Levan. I've already got exactly 6 calls from women in the Bamboo Town constituency. They're bragging about this haircut you have. I can't see it.
Wow.
they need you to come out on Sunday to make sure take some pictures.
Wow.
Now you must come.
I will be there.
I ain't hearing nothing.
I will be there.
And I
And you
also
say- and you say-
want to give condolence to Mighty, the brother of me and Brother Moncador.
Yeah.
Mighty used to, you might be a little too young to know, spiritual advisor might know. They used to have a dirty blue and orange bus to pick up the workers for the airport. Mighty used to drive that. He still lives right in the Bamboo Town constituency. Avenue.
You know, Rodney say he tell all his family members to disown him. Producer, we have the video from Rodney telling his family members that when people come or the police come, disown me. Don't tell them use Rodney Monka's son.
But Mighty is the one who taught with us in the vehicle.
Yeah.
Taught Rodney Monka to drive standard shift.
Wow,
And if
okay.
he is listening or one of his sons are listening, they can call and verify that.
Okay.
You know, but I want to say, Brother Levan, and don't forget, you and the spiritual advisor need to travel now as Batman and Robin. Who is the Robin and who is the Batman? I don't know.
You know,
but make sure how spiritual advisor tag along with you on Sunday.
Spiritual advisor a little saver than me, so we trying to wake on it.
No, but yes, spiritual advisor say double up on the wine.
Yeah, but for the stomach's sake. But
Yeah,
for
but
the
ain't
stomach's
nothing
sake.
wrong with
Yeah. And he does have a bigger stomach than mine, so that's why he needs
That's why
twice
he
them
wanted
on the
double
wine.
of it.
Right.
But listen to me.
Uh-huh.
Brother, let me tell you on public radio, your tour starting to jail and things starting to level up.
Thanks,
I'm enjoying it.
God is good, man.
Thanks so much, Carl. I appreciate
Yes,
you.
sir.
Yeah, man.
We have the clip from Rodney when Rodney tell his family them say, if the police stop you, I want you to disown me.
The police found him. I'm down the road from our house in Black Village, and they arrested him. I'm told that prior to them arresting my son, something possessed him, and he turned to the officer and said, "Do you know who my daddy is?" And the officer said, "No." He said, "My daddy is Rodney Monka." And the officer said, "You're under arrest." So they arrested my Negro son and they let go my neighbor's son. And I keep saying to my children then, I said, "Listen, you are to disown me." I told my wife she is to disown me. I told my brother, when they ask you if you are related to me, tell them no. To my son, stop bragging. But I said, "Daddy, the police right to lock up your backside." But I said, "Daddy," and I tell you, don't tell nobody. Come on, get up and tell the police. The police was about to let him go. And he turned to the police, want to show off. "Do you know who my father is?" The officer said no. He said, "My daddy is Rodney Monka." The police said, "You're under arrest." Oh boy, Manuel. I keep telling y'all, you're not to tell people your family to me. This is the same son. My neighbor told him, "Don't mind me, I'm not safe, because Sister Woman is my sweetheart." My son started rowing with the neighbor, telling him I don't keep sweetheart. I said, "Son, you know I don't keep sweetheart, but don't defend me. You can call people call me sissy. If the man says Sister Woman is my sweetheart, just leave that just like that. But you know what the facts are." All this man doing is all over the place robbing for me. Listen, Sister Woman is not my sweetheart. Stop it. And stop telling the police that you are my son. All right? Just. So, Monroe, you gonna have to go.
I'll have Mr.
So yeah, so if you know Rodney Monka and the police come for you, spiritual advisor, don't brag. Don't brag because the police may lock you up.
Yeah.
We got time for one more?
Let's
Let's take one more. We got 30 seconds. Let's go for it. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to Freedom March. You there?
Are you there, caller? What time is it?
Hey, what's going on?
All is well, S.A. Miller. One quick call. Miller, you hear from the chairman of Road Box?
Have I heard from the chairman of Road and Parks?
Yeah, man. Mother's Day, yeah, we need gifts, things.
Man, you got things?
We need it. You gotta get paid.
You all ain't get paid yet? You all ain't... Oh, boy, he gone.
I thought they got paid.
Mikhail Barnaby. The people them say, If you don't pay them, boy, everybody who on your side, they can put licks all over them.
They can't buy their Mother's
And
Day
then,
flowers.
No, that's what they say. They say, and then when you is the reason why everybody else lose their seat, everybody who got seat can be mad at you. So don't make the PLP mad at you. Please pay the people. That's what they tell me to tell you. Anything else? You got any other message? You hear me? I think he hear me.
Yeah, you heard you.
Okay, good. Who else? We catching anybody out today?
No. We have any more time?
You got any more phone call?
More time? No. Okay,
No.
so we are done the show.
So Rodney's funeral is supposedly on the 23rd.
May 23rd.
We will continue to give you updates about that. Brother Jax, please give me a call. I think you know my number. Who else? John Henry Boswick is dead. We sad. What else? That's it. That's all we got.
Condolences to his family.
Yeah, I just say we sad.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, that's the jingle. You know the jingle. That means the show is over. Thank you so much for staying with us through this whole show. I'm Leland Miller. It's Freedom March. We're on 103.5 FM The Beat. This is the Spiritual Advisor. We'll see you again tomorrow.